The Bucktail Regiment was the brainchild of Thomas Leeper Kane, who was born on January 27, 1822 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. After studying in Paris, France, Thomas learned the lawyer's trade from his father, a federal judge. Kane was an abolitionist and a friend of the Mormons before the outbreak of the Civil War. He also founded the town of Kane, Pennsylvania. After organizing the 1st Pennsylvania Rifles, he declined the colonelcy in favor of the more experienced Charles Biddle and became the lieutenant colonel instead. He was wounded at the Battle of Drainesville, Virginia, and yet led the winning charge that chased the rebels from the field. Kane left the Bucktails on September 7, 1862, when he was promoted to brigadier general. He rose from his sickbed in Baltimore to fight with his brigade at the Battle of Gettysburg. After the war, Kane built the famous Kinzua Railroad Viaduct to transport coal from his mines in McKean County, Pennsylvania, to the Buffalo, New York market. He died of pneumonia on December 26, 1883. Thomas is buried between the two entrances to the Kane Memorial Chapel in Kane, PA. Charles Biddle fought in the Mexican War and was promoted to major for his bravery at the Battle of Chapultepec. Born in Philadelphia on April 30, 1819, Biddle was a lawyer in civilian life after graduating from Princeton College. He was 42 years old when he again enlisted in the Army as lieutenant colonel of the Bucktails. On June 12, 1861, he was elected colonel of the regiment because of his previous war experience. After whipping the tails into fighting shape, he resigned his command when elected to Congress in October of 1861. After the war, Biddle was editor of the Philadelphia Age. He died on September 28, 1873, and was buried in St. Peter's Episcopal Churchyard in Philadelphia, PA. Hugh McNeil was born on January 10, 1830, in Owasco, New York. He worked for the United States Coast Survey and the U.S. Treasury Department before moving to Warren, PA, where he was employed by the Warren Bank. McNeil was 31 years old at the outbreak of the Civil War and elected first lieutenant of Company D after enlisting in the Bucktails. On January 22, 1862, he was then elected colonel of the regiment at Camp Pierpont, Virginia. Typhoid fever kept McNeil out of the Peninsula Campaign, but he rejoined the Bucktails in time to fight the Second Battle of Bull Run. He was shot and killed at the Battle of Antietam on September 16, 1862, while leading a charge across a plowed field near the East Wood. McNeil is buried at Fort Hill Cemetery, Auburn, New York. Charles Frederick Taylor was born on February 6, 1840, at Westchester, Pennsylvania. After a year at the University of Michigan and a tour of Europe, he managed his father's farm near Kennett Square, PA. Taylor was elected captain of Company H of the Bucktails. He displayed his bravery at the Battle of Harrisonburg, Virginia, when he tried rescuing the wounded Lieutenant Colonel Kane, but was captured instead. After being exchanged, he took command of the Bucktails as the senior ranking officer. He was wounded at the Battle of Fredericksburg and promoted to colonel soon after. At age 23, he was the youngest colonel in the Union Army. Taylor was killed on July 2, 1863, at the Battle of Gettysburg while scouting the strength of the Confederate position near the Devil's Den. He is buried at the Longwood Cemetery in his hometown of Kennett Square. W. Ross Hartshorn, born January 26, 1839, was made adjutant of the Bucktails after serving as first lieutenant with Company K of Clarefield County. He was promoted to major before the Battle of Gettysburg and took command of the regiment following Colonel Taylor's death. Bravely, he led the 1st Rifles through the deadly battles of the Wilderness, Spotsylvania Courthouse, and Bethesda Church. After the Bucktails mustered out of service on May 31, 1864, Hartshorn re-enlisted in the 190th Veteran Volunteers as their colonel. On March 13, 1865, he was brevetted Brigadier General for conspicuous gallantry and meritorious service throughout the war. Hartshorn died on January 12, 1905, and was buried at Oak Hill Cemetery in Curwensville, Pennsylvania.